This is the Qtv Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM, and I am Jul Denjai. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. No infrastructure, no development. That was President Barrow's message at the end of his Tuesday's follow-up inspection tour of ongoing road infrastructure projects across the Greater Banjul area and West Coast region. President Barrow today received Senegal's Chief of Defense Staff, Amiral Omar Wade, and the Netherlands Ambassador Carmen Hekners at the State House in Banjul. Tiwawun Travel and Tours intending pilgrims received their travel documents and Hajj essentials on Monday as final preparations intensify for the 2026 pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. And in another Hajj-related development, as preparations intensify for the 2026 Hajj pilgrimage, Maya Global Travel has organized a final orientation and briefing session for its registered pilgrims ahead of their departure to Saudi Arabia. And in a special extended report, in the waterways of Combo South, Pelican Island is evolving from a hidden gem into an international ecotourism hub. But beyond the birth life, this sanctuary is teaching us a vital lesson in Gambian self-reliance. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. Thank you very much for staying with us. If you are just tuning in, this is the Qtv Nightly News. Now, no infrastructure, no development. That was President Adama Barrow's message at the end of his Tuesday's follow-up inspection tour of ongoing road infrastructure projects across the Greater Banjul area and the West Coast region. As Aliou Cisse reports, the president says investment in roads remains central to his development agenda.
The president first visited the Old Kotu Bridge project, where engineers briefed him on ongoing works, including the successful relocation of telecommunication infrastructure and sewage pipes. The contractor is now focused on access roads, pile drilling, and other structural works. From there, the delegation visited the Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center, where a 10-story hotel facility is under construction to provide accommodation for conference delegates and tourists, in what officials describe as another major boost for the Gambia's tourism and hospitality industry.
This is our normal routine of inspecting our roads. This is part of the 365 kilometers of road that we are doing countrywide. And part of the projects that we are doing, almost 80% of them are at the finishing point now. These are the ones that we just started recently, and we expect also before end of the year we will finish them. But overall, I think the contractors are doing very well.
The inspection also covered phase 3 of the OIC highway and the Sukuta Jabang flyover, where significant progress of work is visible. At the 3.2-kilometer-old Yundum Tower to Jabang highway, utility relocation and testing of new water and sewage pipes are ongoing, while road surfacing at Tabokoto Aboko Benjolinding and Wellingara Abattoir Johnson has already been completed, with drainage systems and walkways now under construction. Additional roads inspected include Kasakunda Nyofele Road, 13-kilometer Jiboro Som Farabasutu Road, and the Jalibakwete Johnson Road in Brikama, where the president was welcomed by the renowned Kora Maestro Jalibakwete, his family, and Jubilant residents. For many road users, the projects are expected to address the long-standing challenges, including severe traffic congestion, poor drainage, travel delays, and limited accessibility during the rainy season.
No infrastructure, no development. There is no country that is developed without infrastructure. Because if you look at education, without the infrastructure, you cannot improve education. Health, the same thing. Energy, the same thing. And that's what we are doing. This is the foundation of development. So I think if you look at the past 7 years, what we have achieved, it have achieved more than what was achieved in 52 years.
The president also visited the Salam Cement Factory, where discussions centered on plans to expand local cement production capacity as part of efforts to support infrastructure development and industrial growth.
These are Gambian businessmen. We need to encourage them. I think that is very, very important. And we discuss a lot. Minister of Finance will be involved to see how best we can support him so that the banks will partner him, to increase his production.
Despite criticism from some quarters regarding road quality standards, President Barrow defended the projects, insisting the roads are being constructed to durable international standard with long-term maintenance plans. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
President Barrow today received Senegal's Chief of Defense Staff, Admiral Omar Wade, and the Netherlands Ambassador Carmen Hagnas at the State House in Banjul. Engagements aimed at strengthening bilateral cooperation and diplomatic ties. Aliou Cissé again.
First to meet the president was Omar Wade, Senegal's Chief of Defense Staff, who was accompanied by his Gambian counterpart, Lieutenant General Mohamed O.A. Cham. Wade, who assumed office in February, said his visit is intended to further consolidate the long-standing cooperation and cordial relations between the Gambia and Senegal, particularly in the areas of defense and security.
ndax diggante Gambie ak Sénégal président Barrow wax na ko léegi jàmm rek moo fi mën a.
Speaking in Wolof, he expressed gratitude for the warm reception accorded him and his delegation, while emphasizing the importance of peaceful coexistence and continued collaboration between the two neighboring countries. He described the Gambia and Senegal as one people divided by colonial boundaries, underscoring the deep historical, cultural, and social ties binding the two nations together. Lieutenant General Mohamed O.A. Cham echoed similar remarks, reaffirming the commitment of both armed forces to sustaining cooperation in promoting regional peace, stability, and security.
President, good to see you. Thanks for receiving us on your busy day. Thanks so much.
Next to meet President Barrow was Carmen Hagnas, the Netherlands ambassador to the Gambia, based in Dakar, Senegal. She was accompanied by Netherlands Honorary Consul Henrietta Sonko of the MRC Holland Foundation. Ambassador Hagnas expressed satisfaction with the growing cooperation with the Gambia, particularly in the area of education.
We're very proud of the relations that we have since long with the Gambia and between the Gambia and the Netherlands. And we hope to continue this friendship and the close cooperation. So the President confirmed our strong ties, being very open to continued cooperation. He explained us on several sectors where we could play a role with our expertise in agriculture, for example, but also on maritime questions. And he was also very proud of the work that the Dutch community is doing here in the Gambia, especially on education with the school building that Henriette is engaged in.
The visit is expected to further deepen diplomatic relations and open up additional avenues of cooperation. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
Tiwawun Travel and Tours intending pilgrims received their travel documents and Hajj essentials on Monday as final preparations intensify for the 2026 pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Babukar Cissé reports.
These intending pilgrims are now fully set to embark on their spiritual journey to the Holy Land. The distribution exercise comes after months of induction and sensitization sessions aimed at preparing pilgrims spiritually, physically, and administratively. Imam Al-Hajj Basiru Lee is a senior Hajj guide with Tiwawun Travel and Tours.
We guide them and teach them what to do and what prayers to recite, so they do not make any mistakes. This is our 20th and final session. We began well before Ramadan, and we thank Allah that our pilgrims have fully cooperated with us.
Among the intending pilgrims was Sidi Mbub from Farafenye and Aissatou Salah from Kanifing Housing Estate.
The final preparation is just excellent, and it has prepared us spiritually, and then we are fully prepared. We have already collected all the materials we needed, our ihram, our suitcases, our passport, visas, and all the items needed and we are just ready, set to depart for Mecca, inshallah.
Since we started, I think we have 20 sessions every Sunday. They used to invite us in the office, and they sensitize us all what is needed, all that we need for our Hajj. They sensitize us. We really appreciate all the things that they've done for us, definitely.
The managing director of Tiawan Travel and Tours, Aja Mariama Aduletsi, emphasized the importance of holistic preparation for pilgrims.
They are going to answer to the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are not going on holidays. So let them expect more and more difficulties on the way. And whatever, praying and going to pray to Allah, going to pray to forgive your sins, and going to pray for your families and yourself, going to pray for everything in life. Definitely you would not expect it to be easy. Not 100% anyway. There may be some challenges, but let us just contain the challenges and know that we are pilgrims. We are not going on vacation. We have to carry the message of taqwa in our hearts. We invite the imams and religious leaders to come and give extra advice to the pilgrims.
Religious scholars and speakers at the event, including officials from the National Hajj Commission and several imams and community leaders, educated the pilgrims on the spiritual significance of Hajj, stressing discipline, patience, and proper conduct throughout the pilgrimage. Babukar Sise, QTV News.
The report there by Babukar Sise will take us for a commercial break. When we return, we have more national news stories for you. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. This is QTV News. I am Jul Denjai. Now to the rest of our stories. As preparations intensify for the 2026 Hajj pilgrimage, Maya Global Travel organized a final orientation and briefing session for its registered pilgrims ahead of their departure to Saudi Arabia. The session focused on spiritual readiness, health precautions, accommodation arrangements, and communication services for pilgrims preparing to fulfill one of Islam's most important obligations. Usman Jata reports.
In preparation for this year's pilgrimage, Maya Global Travel convened hundreds of its clients for a final orientation aimed at equipping pilgrims with the knowledge and guidance needed before embarking on the spiritual journey. The event brought together religious scholars, travel coordinators, and telecommunications representatives to provide detailed information on travel procedures, health requirements, and safety measures. Chief Executive Officer of Maya Global Travel, Jenna assured pilgrims of the agency's commitment to ensuring a smooth and comfortable Hajj experience.
Maya Global has made special preparations for all our pilgrims by providing 4 different luggage packages to help them organize their belongings properly during Hajj. We have smaller bags for passports and important valuables, while mini bags will be used in Mina and Arafah, where space is limited and pilgrims are encouraged to carry only essential items.
Maya Global Travel, headquartered in Serekunda, continues to expand its Hajj and Umrah services while providing guidance and support for Gambian pilgrims traveling to Saudi Arabia. Among them was Aissatou Minde Cham.
We thank Allah for giving us the opportunity to register with Maya Global. We had many positive comments about their services before, but today we have seen the preparations ourselves.
The orientation also highlighted the importance of maintaining good health, discipline and patience. Sheikh Junaidi Tal emphasized the need for pilgrims to carefully follow instructions and prepare themselves spiritually before departure.
Today
marks our final preparation meeting with the pilgrims. We discussed medical checkups,
medications and all other important requirements needed for the journey.
Meanwhile, QCell introduced spatial roaming and communication services aimed at helping pilgrims stay connected with family members while abroad. Mamadou Bari is a senior sales supervisor at QCell.
Di dimbale ujaaji ñu yóbbuwaale QCell line foofu sa Makka.
Instead of searching for SIM cards after arriving in Makkah, pilgrims can activate QCell roaming services here in the Gambia before departure. Once you arrive in Saudi Arabia, the lines will already be active and they can communicate easily with their loved ones. We currently have 2 packages costing $900 and $1,300, providing internet access, calls and SMS services.
As the departure date draws closer, pilgrims say they remain hopeful and spiritually prepared for what many described as a life-changing journey of faith and devotion. Osman Jatta, QTV News.
Now, in the waterways of Combo South, Pelican Island is evolving from a hidden gem into an international ecotourism hub. But beyond the bird life, this sanctuary is teaching us a vital lesson in Gambian self-reliance. This is my special extended report from Katong. I am here in Katong village, the coastal village of Katong, which is located in the southwestern part of the Gambia, bordered with Senegal. And this is the Halahin River. We are now heading to the mouth of the Halahin River. And of course, we are also going to the Pelican Island, which has been here for decades. And, you know, we're going to look at the beauty of it, the history behind the Pelican Bath, and the significance it has, especially in the Gambia's tourism industry. The trip begins in calm silence. A wooden canoe cuts gently through still waters, the only sounds coming from the river's soft movement against its edges. As the canoe drifts further, the environment opens up. Pelicans dominate the scene, giving the island its name, but they share this sanctuary with a variety of migratory species. For local guide Suleiman Bojang, this is more than a scenic route. It is a critical research hub and undisputed habitat for the world to witness.
We have 2 types, the great white pelican and the pink-back pelicans. Those are the 2 types of pelicans that we have at the island here. At this island here, we have different species of birds, which you can see them here, different from pelicans. You can see the oyster catcher, you can see the windbirds, you can see the cormorants, you can see the African spoonbills. Even yesterday I was here and I saw it. And you can see also the tonestones, and you can also see the tones. You have the Caspian tones and we have the royal tones also. And also we have them cylinder-bill gulls.
On both sides, mangroves rise in dense formations, standing like natural guards of the shoreline.
And also we have some oyster farms there. People go there with firewood to go and burn the oysters to make a lime, and they can also sell it for their living. People come here to come and look for firewood because the mangrove firewood is the best firewood. People also come here to come and collect this firewood for their living also. And you can do fishing also.
But the island holds layers of history that predate modern tourism.
We have a wetland here in Katong, we have a forest here in Katong, we have Atlantic Ocean in Katong, and we have the river also in Katong. And these all areas, they are all destination for the birds. Some of the birds, you can't see them at the forest, you always see them at the riverside.
Deeper into the island, a striking sight emerges under a baobab tree. It's strong, adorned with cowrie cells and oyster fragments. For generations, this tree has stood as a symbol of wisdom and Gambian tradition. The island's growing profile recently attracted the Turkish ambassador to the Gambia, Turka Oba. His visit underscores a shift. Pelican Island, it's no longer just a local landmark. It is a diplomatic and economic asset.
Well, I have guests, Turkish guests who have arrived, and you have a very lovely and blessed country, and I wanted them to see the very nice sights and sceneries of the Gambia. And yesterday we did the usual touristic places, but today I wanted to bring them really to this beautiful place, Khartoum and Gunjur also. Before we went to the Sand Mosque, and now we came to see the pelicans, to see the frontier. I mean, it's lovely, and protecting this heritage also I think is very important, because really these mangroves are very important for the biodiversity of the region.
Alaji Toure's words reflects a growing sentiment among the people of Khartoum. For them, Pelican Island represents identity and livelihood.
There is money in this country, but success requires discipline. Young people should focus on hard work, especially in tourism, and move away from corruption, shortcuts and dependence. We must stop thinking everything depends on government.
However, they warn that this beauty is fragile. Pollution, climate change, and human pressure remain constant threats. A journey to Pelican Island is more than a boat ride. It is an entry into a living ecosystem shaped by water and time. A reminder that to move forward as a nation, we must first protect the treasures we already have.
This is where the Gambia starts, and this is where the Gambia ends. Behind me is a village called Nyafurang. It is in the southern part of Senegal, and from Senegal to here, it is where Gambia starts. And coming from Khartoum, this is where the Gambia ends. This river here is called the Halahin River, and opposite me is the Atlantic Ocean. And the Halahin River drives its source direct from the Atlantic Ocean. So that is why I said this is where the Gambia begins, but of course it is where it ends. Reporting for QTV News from Khartoum, I am Jules Denjai.
Now, as part of its efforts to raise awareness of its core mandate and enhance visibility, the Public Utilities Regulatory Authority, PURA, on Tuesday launched the third phase of its Student Ambassadors Program in the Lower River region, targeting students in that region. Our regional correspondent, Bakari Balde, attended the opening ceremony and he now reports.
The program brought together students from Soma, Tahir, Khayaf and Queen Senior Secondary Schools to familiarize them with PURA's regulatory activities in the Gambia. The initiative is designed to educate and empower young people to act as consumer advocates within their schools and communities. Jamla Tusaidi, the Director of Consumer Affairs at PURA, spoke on behalf of the Director General.
The Public Utilities Regulatory Authority is an independent multi-sector regulator mandated to regulate the broadcasting, electricity, telecommunications, petroleum downstream, as well as water and sewage sectors. In the execution of this mandate, PURA remains firmly committed to promoting consumer awareness, responsible utility usage, and digital safety through continuous stakeholder engagement and collaboration.
Through this program, PURA will introduce students to the various sectors it regulates, build their capacity in understanding the relationship between PURA and service providers. Here is Mohamed G. Jallo, the Regional Education Director, Region 4.
We are all consumers, and we have the right to be taken care of, to be protected. And I believe students are in a better position to spread such a message.
Momodu Kamara, the Deputy Governor of the Lower River Region, outlines the importance of the event and uploaded PURA for extending such programs to the rural areas.
Nowadays, we all know that social media and other outlets, electricity and other things are one of the most important aspects of the country, and is the driving force of this country. So if PURA is there to regulate that, and also to protect you people as citizens, I think is one of the most important things. But this is very important because I really applaud PURA. You have sit and have ambassadors in the campus alone. But I really thank you for coming to the provinces to make sure that PURA is owned by all the Gambians. I think this is a very, very welcoming idea. You should applaud that for PURA.
Mariama Tarawale, a student from Soma Senior Secondary School, and Alu Gassama from Kayab Senior Secondary School, shared their expectations.
I feel this is a very important thing to me. The reason why they choose us from many students from our school is that when we come here, whatever we learn here, when we go back to our school, we give feedback to our people. Let them also go and synthesize others that have been waiting on a PURA.
Over the 3-day program, the students will participate in various training sessions, including site visits and interactive engagements. Upon completion of the training, they are expected to serve as PURA ambassadors within their schools and communities. Bakari Balde, QTV News.
That report there by Bakari Balde brings us to the end of this news bulletin. This is all we have for you in this edition of the news bulletin. Do join us again tomorrow at 8 p.m. for another news bulletin. Until then, it's a bye from me and the rest of the crew. Enjoy the rest of our programs.